Greetings, my name is Michael A. Weiss and welcome to the Medical Minute. Today's show is my retort to the Sunday, November 18th, 2012, very informative program hosted by Dr. Sanjay Gupta on CNN called Deadly Dose. The show was produced to inform America and the world about the very important and dangerous problem of prescription drug abuse. While Dr. Sanjay Gupta did an excellent job, as always, of informing the public about this very real and dangerous problem, the issue that I had with many parts of the show is that it gave the impression many healthy people see the usage of opioid drugs to treat real pain under the care of licensed pain management doctors almost as dangerous as citizens' right to bear arms. People are ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. Let me explain why I think this way. One issue I had with Dr. Gupta's show was an interview he did with a fellow physician who I believe was an emergency room doctor who unfortunately had seen way too many tragic situations involving people who overdosed on prescription drug medications. This particular doctor equated the entire problem to what he referred to as, quote, the McDonald's phenomenon. And then he went on to elaborate. In other words, people want instant gratification, and that leads them to take these pills. Now, I think what he really meant was that people who want to get a high or get away from things, they take a pill and they're instantly taken away. But what he didn't really think about was that people with real pain, like myself and others who suffer from much more serious diseases, they want instant gratification from their pain. I mean, had that doctor ever experienced a bowel obstruction? Does he know what that feels like? It's like child labor pain for 18 hours, and sometimes your abdomen can burst. That's what I go through with Crohn's disease. But to say that the McDonald's phenomenon is what's causing this problem is an irresponsible statement. I feel like I need to counter it with what is the real life situation of people in pain who the term instant gratification is a good thing. Why should we suffer more? There was a clear assumption that pain is objective, as if certain drugs are only to be used for people who are unfortunately suffering from cancer or facing end-of-life choices. Now, I understand that pharmaceutical companies invent drugs for these purposes, but these wonderful pain drugs have come to help people like myself and other people who fight with chronic illness and can only live somewhat of a normal existence due to the relief they get from these pain drugs. So therefore, to say that some pain is worse than other pain is not fair. Now, I know that they have to devise some type of rules to separate the real from the criminals. But like I said at the beginning, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and it's people like myself with chronic illnesses, with chronic pain, who see licensed pain management doctors who are going to suffer if they try to objectify the meaning of pain in this manner. Another issue that I had with a part of the show was that the personal stories seemed to focus on people who were using opioid drugs like oxycodone or Percocet or other narcotics. They were using them for either recreational use or they were using them in conjunction with alcohol, which if they were prescribed by a physician, they would have been told you can't do that. You can die when you do that. And they're tragic stories. And even former President Clinton was involved with the show because unfortunately he lost someone very close to him, a young man with a world of promise who apparently either used it recreationally or mixed it with alcohol. I don't know, but unfortunately he passed away. Those stories of tragic deaths are so impactful. But I think the patient stories need to be told. The real patient stories need to be told about people like me and others who sometimes can't get out of bed without popping a pill or taking medication. Another doctor interviewed by Dr. Sanjay Gupta indicated that this whole prescription drug abuse problem really started when medical professionals began measuring degrees of pain as a criteria for how to treat a patient. They will ask them, how much pain are you in on a scale of 1 to 10? And this physician felt that when we came up with pain levels, we started a problem. And I say to that doctor, that's ridiculous. because pain is a real criteria. Treating pain is a real issue. There are some people who have no other underlying issues than pain. No one knows why, but they deal with such severe chronic pain that they're prisoners in their own homes. Other people like myself have pain because of incurable autoimmune diseases. I can't even explain to you the specific nature of my pain sometimes because I have it in so many areas of my body. So to say that asking a patient, how bad do you hurt, is a bad idea is almost like a violation of the Hippocratic Oath. Dr. Gupta shined the light on different movements being made by legislators around the country who are trying to enact laws to better control the dispensing of pain medications, I guess, and also the record-keeping requirements on pain management doctors. The whole intent here is to make it more difficult to get these drugs so they just go to the people who need them. My problem with this is that healthy legislators have as much business enacting laws about the dispensement of very vital and sometimes potent pain medications as they do making laws about women's bodies. They don't know anything about it. I think patients need to get more involved. Again, I'd volunteer my services to help with movements such as that. Let me end by saying that Dr. Sanjay Gupta, I thought, did a very good job in this show because he also did show the compassionate side of having to live with chronic pain. And he showed it from the perspective of both the patient and the duly licensed pain management doctor. And he shined a light on that problem too. There's too many patients with pain and too few doctors who are willing to treat those patients, not because they're not compassionate, but because there are always more laws being enacted that make it so rigorous to run a practice like that. And my fear is that shows like Deadly Dose, while they do serve a very important purpose of informing the public of this tragic problem of prescription drug abuse, they're going to also influence other people to enact laws that make it harder for these doctors to want to dedicate their lives to helping people like myself. And I just hope that videos like this and actions by other patients and other doctors temper those efforts so that I could go on living somewhat of a normal lifestyle despite all the pain that I'm in. Thank you.